me inside the water, please. I'm begging
You think you are special? Now you will vanish in the water.
No, sisters, don't! Help! I'm sinking! Help me! Please help me! Help me, please! Please help me, please!
Hello everyone. Before we begin our journey into this magical forest, please help us by hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel. It means a lot to us and helps us share more beautiful stories with you. Thank you. Now, let us begin. In the heart of the golden African savanna sat the village of Basa. It was a place of red dust, tall baobab trees, and people who loved to dance. Among them lived a man named Mr. Kandi and his wife Monifa. They lived in a large hut and had plenty of food, but Mr. Kandi's heart was heavy. He had 3 daughters, but in his mind he felt he was missing something important. He wanted a son. He believed only a son could carry his name and lead the family when he grew old. Because of this, he was often cold to his daughters, Farai, Sikia, and Jira. He rarely played with them, and his house was often filled with his sad silence. One morning, Monifa could no longer bear her husband's sadness. She walked down the winding path to the great river, the life force of Basa. The water was deep and blue, swirling with ancient magic. Monifa knelt on the damp shore, the mud staining her dress. "Great goddess of the river," she whispered, her voice trembling. "My husband's heart is closing like a flower at night. Please, give us a child who will bring pride and power to our name. Give us a child he can finally love." Suddenly, the water began to bubble and churn. A beautiful woman with skin like polished ebony and a dress made of foam rose from the waves. It was the river goddess. She did not look angry, she looked wise. "Monifa," the goddess sang, her voice sounding like the wind through the trees. "I will not give you a son, but I will give you a special child. This child will bring more glory to your family than 10 sons ever could. Your name will be spoken in every kingdom, and your family will be richer than kings. But remember, beauty must be guarded by love." Monifa ran home, her heart thumping with hope. 9 months later, the village was quiet under a full moon when the baby arrived. It was a girl, but as soon as she was born, the midwife gasped. The baby, whom they named Jumoke, did not have black curls like her sisters. Instead, her head was covered in long, silky hair that glowed with a soft white light. As Jumoke grew, the miracle became even more amazing. When Jumoke laughed, her hair shone so brightly it could light up a dark room. When she was sad or sick, the light faded into a dark, stormy gray. Mr. Kande was mesmerized. He forgot all about wanting a son. "Look at her," he would shout to the neighbors. "She is a walking treasure." He became very protective. He told her she must never do chores. "Don't touch the broom, Jumoke. Don't carry the water. You might ruin your hair," he would say. While Jumoke was treated like a fragile flower, her 3 sisters were forced to work twice as hard. They watched from the shadows, their hearts turning as dark as the moonless sky. As the years passed, Jumoke grew into the most beautiful girl in all the land. Her white hair now reached down to her waist, shimmering like a waterfall of light. Suitors from distant villages brought gifts of gold, fine cloth, and rare spices just for a chance to speak with her. Mr. Kande sat on his porch feeling like a king. "My name is powerful because of my daughter," he boasted, ignoring his other 3 children. But inside the house, a storm was brewing. Farai, Sikia, and Jira were miserable. They spent their days scrubbing pots, tilling the dry soil, and carrying heavy wood. Their hands were rough and their backs ached. Whenever they complained, their father would say, "Be quiet. Your sister is a miracle. You are lucky to even live in her shadow." The sisters came up with a cruel plan. They knew Jumoke loved 2 things more than anything: the bright orange flowers that grew by the river and the taste of sweet grilled fish. The next morning, while Mr. Kande and Monifa were away visiting a neighboring village, Jira approached Jumoke with a fake smile. "Sister," Jira said, her voice dripping like honey, "we are sorry we have been so mean. To make it up to you, we want to take you to a secret part of the river. There are fish there as big as your arm and flowers that smell like heaven. Would you like to come?" Jumoke's face lit up with joy, and her hair began to glow with a warm, joyful light. "Oh yes, I would love to spend time with you." She did not see the wink Jira gave to the other sisters. She did not see the sharp, heavy oars they hid under their cloaks. She only saw the hope of finally being loved by her sisters. They began the long walk toward the deepest, darkest part of the great river, leaving the safety of the village far behind. The four sisters reached the edge of the river. The water here was not clear and blue. It was deep, dark, and moved in fast circles. A small wooden boat was tied to a rotting stump. "Get in, Jumoke," Farai urged. "The best flowers are on the small island in the middle." Jumoke climbed into the boat, her heart full of excitement. Her hair glowed so brightly it reflected off the dark water like a lamp. The sisters rowed out to the very center of the river, where the current was strongest. Suddenly, they stopped rowing. The silence was scary. "Where are the fish, Jira?" Jumoke asked, looking into the deep water. Jira stood up and the boat rocked dangerously. Her face was twisted with hate. "There are no fish, you spoilt brat. We are tired of hearing your name. We are tired of your glowing hair." Jumoke's hair instantly turned a dull, frightened gray. "What are you saying? I love you. Please, let's go back." "No," Sikia shouted. "If you disappear, Father will finally see us." Together, the three sisters grabbed Jumoke's arms. Jumoke screamed, "Why? What have I done to you? Please don't push me." But her sisters were strong. With a great heave, they threw her over the side. Splash! The cold water swallowed her instantly. Her long hair acted like a net, tangling around her legs and pulling her down into the darkness. The sisters didn't even look back. They rowed to shore, tore their own clothes, and began to scream. When they got back to the village, they fell to the ground, crying fake tears. "Help! A giant fish!" they wailed. "We were at the river and a monster fish jumped out and swallowed Jumoke whole. We tried to save her, but her hair was too heavy and she sank." The village fell into deep mourning. Mr. Kande and Monifa were destroyed by grief. They sat in the dust, weeping for their lost child. But Jumoke was not dead. Deep under the water, a mami, a river spirit with shimmering scales, had heard her cries. The mami caught Jumoke and pulled her into a secret underwater tunnel that led to a hidden stone tower rising out of the water. Jumoke coughed up the river water and looked around the cold stone room. She was alive, but she was broken-hearted. "My sisters tried to kill me," she sobbed. Her hair, once so bright, was now as black as coal. She was too afraid to go home. She stayed in the tower, hiding from the world, eating only the fruit the mami brought her. She felt like a ghost, forgotten by everyone she loved. Weeks turned to months. Jumoke lived in the stone tower, watching the river through a small window. She was lonely, but she felt safe from her sister's cruelty. One afternoon, a young man wandered to the riverbank. He was wearing royal robes of purple and gold, but he looked very sad. This was Prince Liko. He was handsome, but his right hand was withered and crippled. He could not hold a bow or a spear, and because of this, many people in the palace whispered that he was weak. He had come to the river to find peace. As he sat by the water, he heard a song, a soft, beautiful song. It was Jumoke, singing a lullaby her mother used to sing. The prince followed the voice until he saw the stone tower. He looked up and saw a girl with hair that looked like it was made of shadows. "Who are you?" he called out. "Are you a spirit?" Jumoke looked down, startled. "I'm a girl who was forgotten," she said softly.
The prince recognized her face from the stories. "You are Jumoke? The village thinks you were eaten by a fish." Jumoke told him everything, the push, the betrayal, and the fear. The prince felt a deep connection to her. "I am also hidden away because I am not perfect," he said, showing him his crippled hand. "People look at me and only see what is broken." For the first time in a long time, Jumoke felt a spark of joy. Her hair flickered with a tiny bit of white light. From that day on, the prince visited her every evening. To keep her safe, they made a secret signal. He would hoot like an owl 3 times and clap his hands 3 times. "When you hear that," he said, "you will know it is me and not your sisters." They became best friends. He brought her news of the village and delicious food. One day, as they sat by the river's edge, Jumoke felt a rush of love for the man who had seen her soul when she was hiding. She reached out and gently kissed his withered hand. A blinding light exploded from her hair. The prince gasped as he felt a warm heat rush through his arm. He watched in wonder as his hand straightened and grew strong. The curse of his birth was gone. "Jumoke, you have healed me, and you have saved me." The prince took her hand. "Come back with me. I will tell the truth. I will marry you, and no one will ever hurt you again." They walked back to the village together. When they arrived, the village fell into silence. The dead girl had returned, and she was with a prince. Her parents wept with joy, but in the crowd, 3 sisters stood with faces as pale as ghosts.
The village of Bassa was alive with preparations for the royal wedding. The king and queen had arrived, and everyone was talking about the miracle girl and the healed prince. Mr. Kande was so proud he could hardly speak. But the more the village celebrated, the more the 3 sisters simmered with rage. "She survived," Jira hissed as they sat in their hut. "Not only did she survive, she is going to be a queen while we stay here as peasants. I won't allow it." "But she has the prince's protection," Sikia whispered nervously. "Then we must take her power," Jira said, holding up a rusty, jagged knife. "The magic is in her hair. If we cut it, she will lose her beauty and the prince will cast her out." The night before the wedding, the palace was quiet. Jumoke was sleeping in a beautiful room filled with flowers. Her hair lay across the pillow, glowing softly like a nightlight. The sisters used a secret servant's entrance and crept into her room. They moved like shadows. Jira reached out and grabbed a handful of the glowing white hair. With a cruel laugh, she began to hack at it with the rusty knife. Crunch, snip, crunch. Jumoke woke up with a sharp cry of pain, but as the hair fell to the floor, it didn't stay still. The magic of the river goddess was not something to be stolen. The trauma and the sisters' hate triggered a dark transformation. The white hair on Jumoke's head began to turn a sickly, vibrant green. It grew thick and scaly. Instead of soft strands, hundreds of small, hissing snakes began to grow from her scalp. They wriggled and bared tiny fangs. The sisters screamed and backed away. "Monster! You are a monster!" Jira yelled. Jumoke looked in the mirror and let out a blood-curdling scream. The snakes hissed in harmony with her voice. In her absolute rage and heartbreak, she turned to Jira. "You have taken everything from me," she cried. As her eyes met Jira's, a magical frost began to spread. Jira's scream froze in her throat. Her skin turned to blue ice, then to hard, cold stone. Within seconds, the Mina sister was nothing but a statue of ice. Terrified of what she had become, Jumoke didn't wait for the guards. She jumped out of the window and vanished into the night, her head a writhing mass of hissing snakes. She fled back to the river, hiding in the dark tunnel, praying for the earth to swallow her whole. The next morning, the palace was in chaos. The prince found his bride's room empty, except for his statue of a girl frozen in fear and piles of cut, glowing hair that had turned to black dust. Farai and Sikia were found hiding under a bed, babbling about snakes and monsters. Prince Liko did not hesitate. He remembered the girl who kissed his hand when it was withered. "I don't care what she looks like," he vowed. "She is my Jumoke." He ran to the river. He knew exactly where she would be. He reached the entrance of the dark stone tunnel. "Jumoke, it's me, Liko." "Stay away!" a raspy, terrifying voice cried out. "I am a monster now. If you look at me, you will turn to ice. My sisters have turned me into a nightmare." The prince stepped into the darkness. He heard the terrifying hiss, hiss, hiss of the snakes. He saw two glowing green eyes in the shadows. "Jumoke, listen to me," he said, his voice calm and steady. "When I was crippled, you didn't look at my hand, you looked at my heart. Now I am doing the same. I don't see snakes, I see the girl who saved me." He walked forward until he was standing right in front of her. Jumoke covered her face with her hands. "Please, Liko, you will die." "Then let me die for love," he said. He gently pulled her hands away. He looked directly at her, even as the green snakes hissed inches from his face. He didn't turn to ice because his heart was too warm with love to ever freeze. He leaned in and kissed her forehead. A massive wave of golden light erupted from the tunnel, shaking the very trees of the forest. The snakes dissolved into sparkles of light. The green scales melted away. In their place, Jumoke's hair grew back instantly. Not white this time, but a beautiful shimmering gold that looked like the setting sun. The curse was broken, not by magic, but by a love that was not afraid of the dark. They returned to the village as king and queen. The story of their love spread across all Africa. But what of the sisters? Jira's ice statue was moved to the palace gates. It never melted, even in the hottest sun. It stood there as a warning to all. Jealousy is a cold wind that freezes the soul. Farai and Sekia were not killed, but they were made to work as servants in the palace for the rest of their lives. Every day, they had to polish the ice statue of their sister. They had to watch Jumoke and Liko rule with kindness and joy, forever reminded that while hate can destroy, love is the only thing that truly lives forever. Thanks for watching. If you were Jumoke, what would you do to Farai and Sekia? Would you leave them as servants for life, or would you forgive them? Let us know in the comments section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It means a lot to us and helps us share more beautiful stories with you. Thank you for watching.